Hi, Abim. Welcome to BizTalk. That's my great pleasure having you today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you, Max. Thanks for having me. A great pleasure to be talking to you.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine. So let's talk about talking about yourself, who you are, background, what you've done so far.
Okay. Don't want to brag a lot, but this is my fifth business. Had three exits previously. I have spent last 15 years exactly in higher education, admissions, and recruitment. So starting from my first business to so far, majority of my time has spent recruiting international students, managing students, admissions. I used to be a college owner at one point. I was a director of an international university in Germany, helping them recruit and expand globally. So my experience and expertise has only been into admissions from the university side, helping student side. So I came to UK as a student myself. So I have been in shoes of a student, a service provider, a college owner, and a director of the university. And this business is nothing but a summary of all my experience and trying to solve problem from different stakeholders.
That's very important because you start from a pain point you really know because you had yourself, okay? So
Yes.
that's pretty helpful when you start a business. So let's talk about your venture, straight to the point.
Sure. So as I said, this business is more to do with very, very close to my heart, because what we try to do here is help students find their right matched or right fit universities abroad. Okay. In general, if a student within the country looking for a university, it is painful, but then it is even more painful when you have to travel to a completely new destination. And it is not only the university or course that you have to select the culture, the language, weather, and so on, different factors. In this international student recruitment area, we have seen a lot of important factors. And like in any other industry, in this industry, there is a middleman, right? There is a broker who would try to sell students, and quotation on the word selling, try to sell a course to a student where they have more money to be made, right? And for that very reason, this particular industry is flawed, because of the middlemen trying to sell university and making courses a commodity, which I personally felt very touching when I have seen many students not very comfortable with what they received, the expectation management, and you would see that from the dropout rates. You would see that from the student satisfaction rate. So globally, 36% of the students drop out by the year 2, right? The visa refusal of the university is costing UK universities around £4 million a year, right, on an average. And then universities are spending so much time in manual verification, in manual administrative process, so that it is costing a lot more, and fragmented admissions process. So this is what we are trying to solve. We want to connect the students to the university directly using our matchmaking algorithm with a matchmaking platform. We try to identify the quality of a good student by the use of a certain scoring system, which help the universities to also identify, if this student is suitable for this course, this university, this country, right? So very similar to what you use in financial world, the credit scoring system. We have our unique scoring system for the student's profile, and helping the students to directly choose the universities that they are eligible for without any bias, without any a barrier. For the first time, students have an access to see, oh, am I eligible to for Oxford? Can I study in Stanford? I never thought that I would be eligible. These are the reactions that we wanted to serve, and make sure that when a student creates a profile with us, we provide and lay a foundation of options in front of them, have them critically and database analyze what is the best fit for them, give them a predictability of their chances of success. So this is connecting the student to the university, which is very close to my heart. On the other side, when I was the university director, I also realized that my colleagues were really struggling because of the manual work behind assessing the admissions. And that's where we try to automate the whole admissions process, where Now, universities are spending around 15 weeks in the UK to respond to an application. They can do that in 20 minutes, right? The complete automation of eligibility checking, automation of interview, automation and prediction of the student's outcome. Will this student get a visa? Will this student would complete the course or a dropout? These kind of predictions that we are trying to do using our AI-based algorithm and automation. So trying to serve students and university in this platform.
Thank you. May I ask, I mean, when it comes to students, probably the most painful, okay? Because if I'm a student, actually, sometimes if you are 18, 16, whatever it is, you don't know where you want to go, okay? Exactly. Yeah. I remember I changed to university, no 1, 3. So not because I was not good, but after 1 year for me was, oh, what I'm doing, that's not for me. Exactly. Okay, yes, you can keep doing exams, but it's not going to be my future, right? I'm wasting my time. Yeah. So, and the second is, you're right. I mean, probably so many, they don't even try to Oxford because in mind, it's just too high, right? And this is something that is very good because actually can discover potential. They're not there. Actually, they are there, but they are not there for you, right? You don't believe in yourself enough.
Exactly.
To live. And how does it work, the algorithm? Exactly, you prove health to the students and of course to the universities.
So the algorithm is quite easy, like most of the algorithms are. But then I want to tell you that the very experience that you shared, that you had to change 2 to 3 universities, many students are dropping out and they do not know where to start, whom to ask. And that's why they go to these consultants, these agents, as an advisor. But then they are pseudo advisors. They're not advisors, they're brokers, they're agents, right? So they want to make more money off your need, right? And our intention is to kick those advisors out, kick those agents out from this equation, connect the student with the right, reliable information to go there and make them realize this is possible. This is what you can get. And now coming to how does it work is very simple, right? Imagine it like a sieve, like a filter, right? University have minimum eligibility requirements, right? Your grades, your English, your experience, your GMAT score, GRE score, SAT score, whatever their requirements are, right? That is clearly defined. If you do not meet the minimum requirement, you do not qualify. It's simple. It is not even AI. It is rule-based system, right? and then if the student passes through that, that's where we are talking. Okay. If the students talk and know that this system is amazing, I know I'm eligible to XYZ, but what is my probability of getting it? All eligible students would not get a place in XYZ universities. What are my probability? That's where the data, intelligence, and AI would come in, because that looks into the previously successful and the previously naughty student, previously unsuccessful student, previously visa rejected student, previously dropped out student, and try to create a predictable score for the student, more importantly for the universities, to make a more viable decision, right? Universities using this prediction can identify, if Max is applying for my course, I really want to take him on board because of his finance expertise. Maybe his requirements are not meeting as much, but then his expertise are outlier, right? So your Z-score, the score that we have created, it looks into various hundreds of different data points, right? And then predicts a score to say that although the student is eligible or not eligible, his score is very high. That would create a curiosity in the admissions team, which normally a human mind or human algorithm would skip it because it does not meet the requirement. And at that point, you would identify the real outliers. At that point, you would identify the risks and opportunity. I might as well give you the place and give you the scholarship because I want you so much. And mind you, the universities as a business are very competitive to each other, right? Every university wants a great student. Like every investor wants a great startup, every universities are hunting for great students. And how do they find out? How do they rate it? By responding quicker, by being more proactive, and identifying the risk and opportunity at the very beginning. And this is what our system allows them to do. This is the SaaS program allows them to do, to respond quickly in 20 minutes, not in 20 weeks, right? To identify what are the potential or identify the risk, the traffic signal lights very early on.
In terms of get in touch with the students, okay? Recruiting who is going to be your, anyway, potential clients. I don't know if the student is going to pay or if university will pay for the service and so on. How does it work? And what happens to these middlemen? Where do they go?
Yeah, so the middleman doesn't exist in our scenario. It took us time. When we launched in 2018, give you a bit of a background. When we launched in 2018, we struggled a lot to convince students, talk to us, online platform, and we will help you. Because students were so touch and feel, look and see kind of an attitude. I would go to a consultant with my family of 4 people, talk to them, turn the brochure, and then make a decision. And I don't blame them because they're making £100,000 worth of sale. They're making a life-changing decision for themselves, right? And I don't blame them. That's why we have to iterate and iterate a lot in our approach to build that trust and to provide close to what they are used to, right? So we do not charge students for the first thing, right? It is absolutely free. Our customers are universities, and universities can choose to pay us in a 2 different model. One is a success fee based on the recruitment, and the second is the SaaS subscription based for using our software. Okay. All right. So both at the moment, right? But how it works is the student creates a profile in our platform, right? The platform would create the score, platform would tell them the eligible, not eligible students, universities and courses, and then we have a freelance advisor, right? These advisors are specialized for that type of course or that type of university or that kind of country, right, where the university is applying for. And this specialist, without having any bias, without motivated by commission, will help the student to find the relative scholarships, help the student file a visa application. It is something like Uber. So these advisors are drivers and these students are riders. These driver pick the student at the application stage and drop them at the university, which is the destination stage.
The algorithm will do the match?
Algorithm will do the match. Algorithm would find the scores. Algorithm will help the advisor to find the suitable universities and the student to find the right match. But then the reason we have this advisors, because the student want reassurance with a human, right? And they want to know that this is going to work. They want to talk to somebody.
I was talking yesterday, we are very tech oriented now. We do everything with tech. We are computing algorithm. We just try to be less human, less possible, but we still need the human side.
We tried and we failed, Max. I can tell you, we wanted to be an Amazon for students, but then Amazon cannot sell courses worth £30,000, right? And we failed. The student would not trust you as much. So we started, and it will take time. It will get there, in my opinion. It will get there. And when it gets there, we will be at the forefront because we started it. But we are working towards the complete autonomous at one point. That's why these advisors, so it's like when I compared it with Uber, the drivers are still there. Autonomous self-driving cars are there, but the market is not ready yet, right? The same way our platform is ready, but then the market is not ready yet for the complete automation. That's where the Uber drivers are there or the freelance advisor there to help you. Once the students build the trust in autonomous cars or autonomous platform, everything could be completely automated.
I mean, what kind of market are we talking about? The addressable market in your case?
Yeah, very good question. So when we started with international students only, and even a further small group of Indian international students wanting to come to UK, right? So that is the market currently in this pre-series A stage that we are testing. So although we signed up with over 450 universities in 23 countries on the recruitment success fee based, and we help students, but then being an online nature, we do not only attract Indian students. We have students from Philippines, from Saudi Arabia, Dubai, Africa, from everywhere. But majority, I would say over 60% are Indian passport holders, right? Because we know the culture, we know the language. It is easier for us. And at the moment, our focus is UK and some parts of Europe, but predominantly UK.
UK means UK-based universities.
UK-based university. But then you also mentioned the addressable market. So the market we are talking about, international students alone, it is 8 million international students per year. It's a market. It is estimated $2 trillion market. It is a very big number for me to comprehend, but it's a 8 million international students every year. But then I want to also specifically say here, the recruitment is only for the international student, but the SaaS bit of our offering for the university could be used for international or home students, right? Or domestic students as well. So it serves both the sides.
I mean, UK is so strong when it comes to education. Probably UK the best place where to start, right? Everyone is trying to come.
And more importantly, we are here. So we are based in the UK. So we have a better relationship. We have a better influence or better offers to give it to the students. Post arrival as well, we can support the students in many ways.
I mean, history and writing will help you because UK probably one of the most, when I think about studying, probably I'm going to think about Oxford, Cambridge. So it's pretty much one of the best places where to go and study, okay?
Exactly. So, and from the economy point of view, Max, £25 billion per year is contributed from international student to the UK economy, right? And the international student pay 3 times as much the domestic student does. So it is quite a lucrative market for universities and the country as well.
I mean, when it comes to KPIs, how the product is performing now?
Yeah, so we are, as I said, signed up with 400 plus universities across the globe. We are in revenue since, although COVID hit us really bad, international students, of course, were not traveling. It hit us bad, but then overall, we are over close to £400,000 in revenue at this point of time. But we have, attracted through success fee and the subscription fee based as well. So the subscription based model only started in 2021. We are doing pilots and engaging with the University of Hertfordshire, UCL, an Irish company, which is giving us an access to 6 more universities. So we are growing really fast. On the student side of it, I think we have got the right product market fit there. We are growing at a pace of 36% month-on-month growth. We have 45,000 students in our community on the top of the funnel. So it is growing really fast at this point of time. And that is where we want to scale at this point and in a Series A stage so that we can onboard more students and onboard more universities in terms of subscription. So this is where we stand. And in terms of advisors, we have been very careful in selecting the kind of experts that we have. So we have just over 100 advisors across the globe, and these advisors are helping students to progress further. Now we recently got recently I say, but it is coming to a year now. The former Minister of Education, Bill Rammell, joined us last year in November, right? And it is helping us understand the industry even better. Although I have some experience, but then understanding the pain of the university even better, because Bill has been a former vice chancellor of a university as well, right? So that is helping in that direction. On the other hand, on the front end for the student side, we have a former CMO of eBay and the former marketing director of Amazon, Claire Howard-Jones, helping us in growing and scaling the marketplace for the students as well. So this is where we stand at this point of time.
You started with the SaaS model. What do you think? How do you think is going to be shared your revenue between SaaS and success fee?
Yeah, so majority of our revenue is through the success fee at this point of time, because our SaaS model is fairly new. We started in 2021 January, so just nine months in. But then it started to generate revenue already. We have some pilots in place. So that is where this round of funding, we would like to spend more money in growing the subscription, more predictable model of revenue as well.
Let's talk about the funding. How much you're raising now?
We're raising at £2 million at this point of time. We have got a commitment of around 42% of it, wherein some of the angels like Bill Rammell himself, the former Minister of Education himself, is investing with us. We are basically looking for a lead and inviting angels to come and join in. We are also EIS approved, so any UK-based angels would find us more tax efficient to invest.
I mean, I suppose, as you say already, this is for scaling, okay? So what's your scaling strategy? And are you going out UK and Europe one day?
I think not at this stage, but definitely 1 year down the line, 18 months down the line to be precise, we would be looking to scale into Europe and US, 18 to 24 months in that time frame. But then immediately next 12 months to 18 months, our scaling strategy is to acquire as many UK-based universities with the subscription model immediately, and also reach a 500,000 mark on the student side of it, 500,000 students on our platform. So that is what we are looking to. And of course, revenue wise, we would like to surpass the 1 million threshold, what most of the investors would call it.
We know we got Brexit. Is going to affect you in any way, your business model?
Yes, in a positive way. In a positive way, because although me personally was not very much in favor of Brexit, my political opinion maybe does not matter, but for the business it is great, because UK especially now looking more non-European students, which is great for international students to bring them over, right? They are more welcoming. They started a 2 years of work permit for international students to come and stay after the course. After 10 years, they started this new program of visa. It is more welcoming. The same way, coming out of the UK, Europe has to do the same, because the reliability between the two divorcees are now more into the non-European, and which is great for globalization in a way, which is great for international students in a way. And Brexit has been a positive factor for us, and the COVID, right? As I said, in 2018, we were struggling to build that trust on an online platform, but COVID made it slightly easy for us to convince the student, this is the way, this is the future, do this way. And a lot of students are. So the onboarding was great, revenue hampered a bit, but then the onboarding of the student was great.
I mean, you are now English to English, okay? Pakistan, Indian, they speak English fluently. They are bilingual. Now, do you think language can be a barrier when you start, if you want to really scale up globally?
For the international student, I don't think, because most of the international student will speak English if they have to travel internationally, or they would travel to learn English, right? Which is the language school market, which we are not thinking to tap in very soon at this point of time. But then I think language should not be a barrier. But then this local feel could be given by the advisors, right? These advisors, those who are helping the students, we normally match them with the kind of language that they are comfortable in speaking.
Okay.
So we cover that there. That's
brilliant. Now, you're an entrepreneur. You've done already 4 or 5 startups. You know very well how challenging it is. It's extremely challenging. I never sleep at night. I would love to sleep, but that's not for me. Now, my question is, what's your fear? What do you fear the most for your startup? What do you think, what does make you sleeping at night?
This is interesting. Every business has fear, and I would be lying if I don't fear anything. And I think the biggest fear is the changing market condition, and especially with COVID, we were stunned because our majority of revenue was for international students, and changing market condition is the biggest fear. The second important fear is, of course, a lot of Me Too, right? I can do the same. I can do the same. A lot of Me Too's are coming up, but then I think it is more about how well can you do it, and what are the barriers that you're creating for the new companies to come in. The market is big enough for many to come in. I'm not denying with that fact. But then slightly moving towards the competition as well, probably your next question, a lot of major competitions are relying on the agencies. They are creating software or solution for agents to recruit students to send universities. Our model is very different. We hate agents, right? And I can say that in public. We want the students to directly talk to the university and vice versa. Right? And the mix of the students' university is 51-49%, right? It is almost 51%, 50-50 that the students applying directly versus student coming through an agency, right? And it is an expensive, distribution channel or recruitment channel for the university. Giving a figure, from a report of 2018-19, UK universities pays 183 million in agency commission.
Wow.
Yeah, 183 million. This is really expensive channel. And on top of that, dropout, visa success, and the compliance, right? Visa rejection and compliance. So probably every other industry has moved out of it. Probably education will.
I think agencies, which everyone has the right to do their business and absolutely nothing to comment, but the device they're going to give probably are not more that related to how big is your potential, but how big is the ticket for me. That's normal. That's how we run business. So
that's how we run business. And honestly, I have been an agent in past, right? I was the director of international agent relations. So I have friends, those who are agents. So there is no personal attack to anyone. Business is business end of the day, right? But then the nature of this middleman is biased. The basis, the DNA is biased, right? And we cannot take that. I would not take that chance with my child, right? For education.
So let me close with your vision and a message to investors, okay? So what's your vision for your company for the next 5 years, and why investors should invest in your startup?
See, the vision that I see is we want to create this community of students, which is self-supported, right? A reliable source of information, one junction where the student know their potential and achieve their potential, seamlessly, right? There is, on the other side, we want to make sure the student and university get the right use of technology and experience that they truly deserve. So in simple words, I want every student to reach where they actually deserve. At least they should know, or every universities to find the student that they actually deserve, right? It works both ways. And there is a lot of way that we have to work hard towards it. The reason I think the investors should look into it, I'm not saying just invest me in us, but then to look into this domain is because it is highly scalable, it is untapped, all right, and it is a great opportunity because the market is big and it is niche. International student and admissions is niche. It is the technology has not yet reached the university, although university teaches technology to the student, but they are very slow in adapting. So there is an opportunity, right? And that is where the opportunity is, and that's why investors should shake hands with us. I'll think about it.
Any exit strategy, and we close with this.
Exit strategy, I'm an entrepreneur by DNA. I have more ideas to work upon. So I would like to, exit via some acquisition in next 5 to 7 years. Have few acquisitions, our partners in mind that we can discuss it one-to-ones.
Abi, thank you very much for coming to BizTalk. It's been a very great pleasure with you today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Max. I really enjoyed this, to be honest.
Me too. Me too. Okay, bye.